This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to a Funny Feeling podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling podcast. All right, Betsy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about something today
Okay.
that I think we've definitely mentioned on the show. And we are all very familiar with the subject of exorcisms, correct?
Oh, yeah. I love to exorcism. Every day I try to do it.
So we've all, if you haven't, you should go scare the hell out of yourself and watch The Exorcist or The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
You know what I really enjoyed?
What?
Oh, shit. Now I can't remember. The last exorcism? I gotta look it up real quick. Sorry. Because it's fucking good. I was blown away. I was ready to laugh at it. Last
Exorcism?
Yeah, The Last Exorcism is a pure blast of a movie.
Oh,
and really great. Yeah.
Well,
that's all. If you're looking for a fun one.
Looking up what are some modern exorcisms?
That's so scary.
And then they were all too sad.
Ghost Adventures has gone to a few.
But the ones that I was looking up, the famous ones, are all just it was just sad. And I didn't want to cover the sad ones where someone beat their kid to death because they thought it was a demon. But
oh, yeah.
So I found one that's a little less scary. Okay, but let's talk about exorcism. So exorcism is the religious or spiritual practice of evicting demons or other spiritual entities from a person or an area that is believed to be possessed. The person performing the exorcism is known as an exorcist. It's often a member of the Christian church or an individual thought to be graced with special powers or skills.
Ooh.
The exorcist may use prayers or religious materials such as set formulas, gestures, symbols, icons, and amulets, etc. The exorcist often invokes God, Jesus, and several different angels and archangels to intervene with exorcism.
Okay.
So when you think exorcist, you probably think mostly Catholic, right?
Yes.
But a lot of other religions do it, like evangelicals, Baptists, Church of England, Episcopal Church, Eastern Orthodoxy, Lutherans, Mennonites, Methodists, Pentecostals.
Christianity?
Yes.
Mostly
all of these are Christian religions. So the Catholic Encyclopedia, though, because that's where I think most of our exorcism if you've seen The Exorcist, comes from Catholicism. So the Catholic Encyclopedia says that there is only one apparent case of demonic possession in the Old Testament. It's of King Saul being tormented by an evil spirit. But it kind of relies on the interpretation of the Hebrew word ruah, which is an evil spirit.
Oh, okay.
And the interpretation is sort of doubted, so they're not sure. But that is because there's some in the New Testament, but in the Old, they're how far back does this go?
Yeah.
Okay, so but talking about the Vatican, so they've changed the rules. So since 1999. The person who claims to be possessed must be evaluated by doctors to rule out a mental or physical illness.
Okay.
And most of the cases they don't need an exorcist. So
yeah, it's something more mental.
That it could be exactly a mental disturbance or addiction or a lot of other things that could be going on. So however, though, there's recently been an uptick, so they don't know why. There's been an uptick in need. But even without them doing exorcism as regularly, every diocese is required to have at least one priest that can do an exorcism.
Whoa. Wait, what's a
diocese would be
kind of
the greater Los Angeles diocese or whatever. Yeah.
Whoa.
So they all have at least one who can perform an exorcist if needed. An exorcism is if needed. Okay.
Good.
So we're going to talk let me tell you about some of the signs of a demonic invasion.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So they vary depending on the type of demon and its purpose.
Yep.
So they include loss or lack of appetite.
Oh, no.
Cutting, scratching, and biting of skin.
Uh-oh.
Cold feeling in the room. Classic. Unnatural bodily postures and change in the person's face and body.
Oh.
The possessed losing control of their normal personality and entering into a frenzy or rage and attacking others.
Oh, boy.
Change in the person's voice. Supernatural
Marcy.
supernatural physical strength not subject to the person's build or age.
Oh, God, that's scary.
Speaking in or understanding another language which they have never learned.
Oof.
Knowledge of things that are distant or hidden.
Whoa.
Predictions of future events. Levitation and moving objects. Expelling of objects. Intense hatred and violent reactions toward religious objects or items, and apathy towards entering a church, speaking Jesus' name, or hearing scripture.
Whoa.
That's all classic The Exorcist stuff, right?
Classic.
Okay, so let's talk about one particular event.
Ooh,
So
okay,
we have
I'm scared.
a Dr. Richard Gallagher. So he worked with this woman. We're going to call her Julia because that's what they called her on Ranker and
Okay, great.
And what did I got this on Ranker, Wikipedia, and Reader's Digest.
Oh, I love Reader's Digest. My parents had a subscription, and
I
was
didn't
like
know they covered this kind of stuff.
bathroom reading. So, I
best.
grew up reading that.
Honestly, it was just like a way to digest a bunch of reading.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice and quick.
Okay, so Julia was a woman who was possessed by an incredibly intelligent demon.
Oof.
So Dr. Richard Gallagher, he was an Ivy League trained. He was trained at Princeton and Yale, psychiatrist working in Westchester County, New York. He had a private practice. So in an article the Washington Post put out, he describes himself as a practicing Catholic but an admitted skeptic who doesn't believe in, quote, hocus pocus.
Okay.
But he thinks that might be why he was chosen by the church to come on to Julia's case. So,
to be like, we need this dude who's like, science. Okay.
So according to Dr. Gallagher, real possessions have a telltale sign that are incredibly hard to fake. Things like levitation and having the uncommon knowledge that we talked about earlier. Gallagher admits that he has never seen a person levitate, although he believes that some of his associates have witnessed this. After studying a patient, he'll let priests know whether or not the symptoms put off by the person he's studying can be medically explained.
Okay.
Or not. And then, to just be like, oh, that's nothing you need to worry about. However, in the case of Julia, things weren't so cut and dried. So Gallagher, when is this?
When is this? Do we know?
I forgot.
Okay, don't worry.
Sorry I didn't
Pretty
write that
recent
part.
Or like enough of
yes,
recent?
Like in the like I want to say this was happening probably kind of like either before or around about the exorcism time. But I could be wrong. So I don't know. I should have looked that up.
No.
I didn't.
It's fine.
But if it's written about in the Washington Post and he's a psychiatrist from Princeton and Yale, then I assume 70s, but could be wrong. Could be wrong. Because those are all old institutions. So, okay. So Julia, she's a woman dressed in flowing black robes and she puts on black eyeshadow and then it goes to her temples and she refers to herself as the high priestess of a satanic cult.
Whoa.
So
it's like Ghostbusters.
It immediately makes him very skeptical of her because he's like, okay, you're goth. So, but the skepticism begins to fade when he meets Julia, and immediately she began to point out secret weaknesses of everyone in the room. And boy, I wish I knew what they were.
I do too.
Farts in your sleep. Allergic to dairy.
Oh my God. And also farts in your sleep because of it.
All of these.
It all has to do with them being lactose intolerant.
Well, am I wrong?
Am I? No, she's right. We can't talk about it in the 70s. Everybody loves milk in the 70s.
Well, one of the things she knew, she knew that Gallagher's mom had died from ovarian cancer. And she was also known to speak multiple languages.
Whoa.
One of the major criticisms that Gallagher faced with his relationship with Julia is that his insistence that she wasn't dealing with a mental episode, that this wasn't like a mental illness, this was like something else. So,
and everybody's like, hey man,
it's
looking like
maybe
it
that goth chick just tricked you. He claims that it was much more likely that she was possessed by a demonic entity than she was dealing with a psychotic episode. So she would go into trances, and they were really intense, and it was more intense than like a simple disassociation. He writes, mentally troubled individuals often disassociate, but Julia's trances were accompanied by an unusual phenomenon. Out of her mouth would come various threats, taunts, and scatological language. Poop, poop, fart, shit, poop, poop, poop. Phrases like, leave her alone, you idiot.
Oh.
She's ours.
Oh.
Leave, you imbecile priest.
Oh.
Or just leave. And he said that she would... she made sure to be as sacrilegious as possible during her trances.
Yeah.
So when Julia's exorcism finally occurred, the room grew very cold in the middle of summer. Whoa. Julia taunted Gallagher and his team of priests and nurses in voices that didn't belong to her. She began to make guttural, animalistic noises, and she supposedly moved objects around the wall. Wow. And when she would come out of these trances, she would claim she didn't remember anything that happened. So, but going back before his first meeting with Julia, he experienced an incredibly strange evening. He claimed the night before he first saw her, his cats went wild in the middle of the night.
Ooh.
Which, hey.
That
happens. Boy,
that's scary.
Am I going to meet someone possessed? Because my cat is crazy. However, the weird thing is, when he met her the next day, she asked, Dr. Gallagher, how did you like those cats?
Ooh, that's spooky. That's spooky.
And then he told her if she was ever involved in doing anything like that again, he would refuse to assess her for exorcism. So in another instance, he claimed that one day he was on the phone with Julia's exorcist, and then suddenly he heard her voice coming through the receiver. So he's talking to the exorcist, but he hears Julia's voice come through. And it was screaming at the priest in a demonic voice. During Julia's trances, she would display psychic abilities. In one case, she looked at one of the priests who wasn't even she locked in on a priest who wasn't even in the house. And she was able to describe where he was, what he was doing, and how he was feeling. Another priest who was directly involved with Julia's case was consistently reported on when Julia was in... What? That doesn't make sense. Sorry. Another priest who was directly involved with Julia's case was consistently reported on when Julia was in a trance. Oh, so she was talking about what he was doing. Okay.
Wow.
So despite not knowing the priest suffered from a chronic illness, she would discuss how he was feeling and what he was doing and what he was wearing.
Whoa.
So every case of demonic possession is different. Some demons are lower creatures who simply lash out the corporal world. Others are like crafty, who want nothing but to cause chaos. Yeah. The demon inhabiting Julia was an intelligent being that seemed hellbent on destroying the faith of every member of the exorcism team.
Wow.
Proving the demon's intelligence, it allegedly knew when the priests were trying to trick it by throwing regular water at her and would only react to genuine holy water.
Whoa.
I wonder why they did, I guess to make sure.
This is blowing my mind.
She was also able to reveal facts about the past of the attendees and provide with family history of everyone in the room. And what's interesting about this case is Julia was the one who sought out an exorcism.
Yeah. I was curious as to like what.
So she felt that she was possessed. And Gallagher believes she was conflicted and that she wanted to be relieved of the possession. But he later said that the whole case was strange because she continued to be involved with the satanic cult.
Oh.
So even like after and through her work with the Catholic Church. So Julia, quote, Julia was perfectly aware that she was possessed and did not like that. It turned out that she refused to leave the cult. So she was not someone who was going to be helped, but she was afraid of the cult as well. She was torn. So, according to Dr. Gallagher, he and his team of exorcists weren't full.
I'm truly blown away. Yeah, this is blowing my mind, this story.
Yeah, it's a really weird one, right?
Yeah.
So, she wouldn't leave the cult. And according to Gallagher, he and his team of exorcists weren't able to fully help Julia because she called off the exorcism. So she said, that's it, we're done. He claimed that she was conflicted about receiving help from the church. She said that she enjoyed the power she received when she channeled the demonic entity into her and possessing her body. Gallagher said she was playing both sides, which seems like a reductive way of looking at the situation. Gallagher stated, exorcism is not some kind of magical incantation. Normally, a person has to make their own sincere spiritual efforts too.
Yeah.
After calling off the exorcism, Gallagher said he only heard from Julia one more time.
Whoa.
She called and said she was dying of cancer and was thinking of continuing her exorcism. Sadly, he never heard from her again.
What? This is wild.
It's so wild, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy shit.
I mean, it's really scary. Apparently, I think he might have consulted on The Exorcist, actually. So maybe this was before. I'm going to look up what year this happened in.
That blew my mind. Because, like, I had questions, but they all started getting answered of, like, who started being like, she's acting weird or whatever.
Yeah, she was like, I'm acting weird, you guys.
Because, like, there were also points where it's like, was she just psychic?
I mean, could have been, but... okay, so he's still alive.
Whoa. You Googled him?
He's got great reviews.
As a therapist?
Yeah. If you want to go see Dr. Richard Gallagher, he's still practicing in Westchester County.
Whoa. So this is pretty recent.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
That blew my mind.
Yeah, it's really weird,
especially,
right?
Like... her not liking the possession, but then also,
or the fear of it taking over. Like something about it was intoxicating.
Yeah,
but that it is really
you have fucking powers.
Yeah,
speak a bunch of languages.
Yeah. Also, like really interesting that she was like, "All right, that's enough," and then they were like, "All right, gotta go."
Yeah,
because some of the other exorcisms I read about were awful.
Yeah, because I always feel like it's like very physical, like they're dying.
Like the one that the exorcism of Emily Rose is based on. That's true. And the girl ended up like starving to death.
Yeah.
By the end, she was 30 pounds. Ugh. She was a 15-year-old girl.
Oh my god!
But she was the one choosing not. She was like, I don't want to eat because she was like fasting to see if that would help. But it's like also she was on like all these antipsychotic drugs and then got off of them. So like this one at least I was like, it's not a happy ending, but she's
kind of in control of it
exactly.
more. Whoa! Yeah. I've never heard of anything like that.
Is this a feminist version of The Exorcist?
Whoa! Cool. Whoa! That truly blew my mind.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. It's so weird.
Should we go to that psychiatrist and see if we have demons?
I don't know.
Do I have a demon?
No.
I guess he's not like just like doing a scan and being like, nope, you're fine.
No, you're golden. Pay me $500. Okay.
You need another Wellbutrin prescription.
Great, thank you.
All right, well, hey guys, if you have any, I hope you don't have any stories of being exorcised, but if you do,
let us know.
Or ghost stories or things being your pet, whatever, any kind of spooky thing.
Send them to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, write an email or you can send a voice memo, but keep it short. Under 5 minutes. And then why don't you do us a favor? Go on over to Apple Podcasts and subscribe and rate, review. Or wherever you listen, subscribe and rate, review, and tell your friends.
We love it. Thank you.
Betsy.
Marcy.
Are you so excited?
I'm so pumped
to have our guest on today.
Yes.
Oh, wow. He is the host of the podcast Family Ghost from Spoke Media, Sam Dingman.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Thanks for coming here all the way from New York just for this podcast.
Listen, worth every dollar of the plane ticket to be here on the Funny Feeling podcast.
We don't reimburse.
We do not reimburse. We find you the hardest, worst flight to get on.
No, how much can I pay you for the opportunity to be here?
And thank you for flying into Oxnard.
Very far away. John Wayne?
No, the one in...
Oxnard.
Is it Oxnard?
It's far away.
Or is it Ontario?
Ontario.
That's the one. We have I don't know why California also has an Ontario, but it's too far, and sometimes you're like, when I first moved here, I was like, should I fly out of Ontario?
Like, no.
It was a mistake.
No, God, no.
I'm definitely really coming to terms with how bad at California geography I am, because I'm staying in Pasadena.
Yes.
Which is a lovely place.
Yeah.
Not super close to anything else
that
I have been trying to go to.
Yeah.
So I had a meeting on Thursday morning that was supposed to start at 8:30, and I was like, no problem, I'll leave at 7 in the morning.
Oh my
Just so
God.
I figured I'd get there a little bit early, get the lay of the land. I was 20 minutes late.
Where was it?
It was in
Culver City.
something like that.
Or like West Side.
Somewhere in the west.
Isn't that awful?
I had to literally drive over a mountain. And when I got there, I was thinking, like, if I had left from Brooklyn and driven this much time, I would be in Philadelphia right now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I'm just in a slightly different part of LA.
It is pretty crazy. Like, there was one time I was trying to get to the Fox lot, and I was, it's a ghost.
My ghost light.
That light's a ghost light.
Yeah. Love it.
And I was 2 miles away. Like, I could see that big building that's next to the lot, and it took me 45 minutes to move that 2 miles.
It's so frustrating.
I was livid. I was screaming.
So lucky that guys, this is just some California talk.
Now we're just talking California traffic.
I'm so lucky that my commute's 18 minutes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I never factor in the walk from the parking garage.
Oh, and that's a walk.
Oh, there's my ghost light.
Ghost light.
I feel like for the past month, you guys have heard about us talk about my ghost light. So, tell us about your podcast, Family Ghosts.
My podcast, Family Ghosts, it's a storytelling show, and the conceit of the show is that in every episode, so we usually do documentary style stories, but sometimes we also experiment with format. So sometimes we'll do long sort of Moth style monologue stories with musical scoring. We've done some fiction. We actually have a musical episode.
Whoa!
Fun.
But I should probably tell you what it's about before I tell you about all of our format digressions. The idea is that, in my opinion, in every family, there is a story that you grow up hearing about someone who is in your family's past, and they have a story associated with them that you kind of can't believe is real.
Yeah.
So to give you a specific example, in my case, I grew up hearing this story that my grandfather on my mom's side was briefly married to this woman who turned out to be part of an international jewel smuggling operation.
Whoa.
Yes, right? Except that's where the story always ended. It was like Thanksgiving, everybody's had some red wine, everybody's like scraping at their pie, and that little snippet of the story gets told, and everybody's like, oh, well, guess we'll never know more about that.
Whoa.
And I would consistently hear that and go like, no, we can't stop there. I want to know how that happened, what happened after.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, Mom, your stepmom for a period of time was an international criminal who was being hunted by the FBI. How do you feel about that? Like, what effect has that had on you? And that experience was sort of heightened by the fact that my mom is a visual artist.
Cool.
And I grew up, we used to call our house the homemade house, because she like made everything in our house, from like the tables to the mugs, like everything, chairs, couches, everything. And a lot of her visual art had this, what I considered to be extremely intense death imagery. Like, she would make these sculptures that were like a wooden house with railroad spikes driven through it. Or like a picture of a pickaxe in a forest with like heavy shadows.
Yes.
And it's beautiful stuff. I find my mom's work incredibly inspiring, but it was also really dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah. And I guess I just had this idea that there must be something about this incredibly intense experience that she went through, and the work that she does and clearly wants to manifest in a very present way.
Yeah.
Those things must be connected.
Yeah.
And so that I consider that feeling that I had about her work sort of a haunting. Like, I feel haunted by the story. I feel haunted by this idea that there's some connection between these two things, and I want to investigate.
Like unearthed knowledge of like what is this? Yeah.
Exactly. And so that phenomenon that I experienced, I posit, is something that someone in almost every family has that same feeling about some story that's in their family. And so the idea on the show is in every episode you hear somebody try to get to the bottom of that dilemma.
Oh wow,
God, that's
cool.
so rad.
I love that.
And we have
That's
manifested
so
that in
rad.
like a bunch of different ways. Like in my case, with my mom, it was this particular story, but we've also done we did a story last season about this woman whose parents were founding members of a cult in Seattle.
What?
That called itself, it was called the Love Israel Family. So
I've heard of this. Is that
Yes.
the guy's name though?
Yes, absolutely.
I must have seen a doc about it.
I don't...
Or at least heard it somewhere.
Whoa.
Because it's very familiar. And that's not his real name at all, right?
Right. His real name was Paul Erdman.
And he was just like a guy who was like...
That's a very funny, like, actual cult leader's name, Erdman.
Yeah, I feel like...
Is it Erdman?
Yeah, and like it was a bunch of women that kept following him, correct or no? Am I just making that up?
There were a lot of women in this particular cult, but there were a lot of men too. It was a lot of people who were understandably really upset about Vietnam and were sort of looking to, I guess the cynical way of looking at it is they were looking for a clever way of avoiding the draft. Another way of looking at it is that they believed that this guy was emanating some kind of holy message about transcending the political moment that they were in. But was really interesting about that story is that so we told this woman Posey's story about how, in a way, Paul Erdman is kind of her family's ghost.
Yeah.
But also there's a meta level that one works on because the whole thing was constructed to be this invented family. And so in that, that's actually a 3-part series that we did, and we got to talk about both sorts of family ghosts. One that's, within one nuclear family and one that is within this constructed family.
Yeah.
Will this constructed family fall victim to the same betrayals and lies that other families do?
We gotta listen to that one. That's really cool.
Ooh, I can't wait to listen to that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
I love
Thank you.
digging into like fucked up families. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really... the inspiration for me came from, I was a theater major in college, and
you have both the masks
among
with
friends.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, both oh yeah, absolutely. I carry the masks with me.
Oh god. Theater, I just hung out at our like loading dock of our theater for 4 years.
Oh, pounding cigarettes.
Oh my gosh.
Totally.
No one smoked as much as theater kids in college.
I do remember a lot of friends smoking. I was like, what?
There's nothing better than like smoking in a loading dock, being 21 and being like, I alone can articulate the reason that this Baz Luhrmann movie is bad.
Oh my God, that's spot on.
Yep,
That is spot on. Oh God.
But like the thing that happened for me in theater class in college is I had this really great acting teacher. His name was Lee Devon, and he said to us, all of the great drama begins in the family. Mm-hmm. He said, I don't care if we're talking about Clifford Odets. I don't care if we're talking about Eugene O'Neill. I don't care if we're talking about the Greeks. It's just family stuff.
Yeah.
That's where it all comes from. Yeah. And I found that mind-meltingly fascinating.
Yeah.
And have always, I think part of the reason it was really resonant for me is I've always really resonated with your 6 Feet Unders and your all of those plays that I just named. Like, that's always been the kind of thing that was most resonant to me.
Yeah.
And I started to get really interested in this idea, like, what if you removed the fictional layer from that kind of storytelling?
Yeah.
And tried to honor the drama that lives in real families.
Yeah.
And because if what's so resonant about fictional families drama is that you recognize something in it from yourself, what if you just told the actual stories that create that resonance?
Yes.
So that was kind of the idea that led to the podcast.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Because it is fascinating hearing people's stories.
Yeah.
The actual, like, where it is some specifics where it's like, that is so wild, it has to be true.
Yes. And the idea that we, in every family, people are so comfortable not investigating these things, just letting these things live in a space of myth.
Yep.
And being so afraid to open the door because of what might come through.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a show where we just pull that door open.
Rip that door off the hinges. Let it rip.
Yeah.
With my family, I feel like once truly at my grandfather's funeral, that's when it just started to everything came out. And I was like, whoa, how was this always happening right under my nose, and I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah. So can I ask you, when that happened, were there any stories that you heard that made you all of a sudden go aha,
oh yes,
all of a sudden something about our dynamic makes more sense?
Yes, absolutely. Whoa. They were just so it's complicated. It's a bigger story, but it was one of those things where I was like, oh, so that's why I always had a feeling about something in this family that I thought was about my parents, but it wasn't. It was about my grandparents, and it was just seeping into us. And and also my grandfather had some mistresses. So to be oh my God, that person I knew
was, wild.
Really wild. And I was like, what a brazen.
Rude.
But also it was interesting because I'm such a curious person, and hearing the stories was it wasn't as shattering as maybe I think it was for some other members of the family.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, tell me more. What? Huh?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Right. We always used to sing Papa is a bad boy. I mean, I would always sing Marcy is a good girl and Papa is a bad boy. And I was so correct.
And you nailed it.
He is a bad boy. He was a bad boy for life.
Marcy, the cold open in the episode we will make about your story is you singing that song.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Well, let's dig into this stuff then. We always start by asking our guests, what, if anything, do you believe about the paranormal?
So, I don't know if I have a particular position on whether or not paranormal events are real.
Okay.
But what I believe 100% is that the effects of paranormal experiences should not be denied. People have paranormal experiences, and they have physical and psychological and emotional responses to seeing ghosts, experiencing the presence of ghosts, being abducted by aliens, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they reorient their entire lives and self-perception around those experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's real. And I think denying that or trying to tell those people that is not their experience is awful.
Yes.
Because it's real. The effect is real, and whatever it is that prompts somebody to have that kind of transformational experience is something that we should honor and explore.
Yeah.
So
that blew my yes, that's so nice and true and blew my mind.
It's just like someone having a even if you don't believe it, it's like someone having a feeling about something they're perceiving between other people that maybe that's not someone else's experience, but it doesn't
they are feeling it.
Yes, exactly.
Whoa.
You know, the way I think about it is I love when people tell me about their dreams.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people are don't tell me about your fucking dreams.
I love hearing people's dreams too. I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
And because what's interesting to me about it is I know that it's kind of similar to the paranormal thing. Obviously, it was a dream. It didn't really happen. Unless, maybe we're living in a simulation. Who knows? And maybe dreams are things that are planted by whoever is controlling the simulation.
Yeah.
But
so much Netflix in this simulation.
So much.
So weird. They got bored, I guess.
Put
it on autoplay.
I really want to get a look at the R&D from their labs about why they think this is a good idea. But when someone tells you about their dream, it's clearly because they had some kind of vision, and it is going to affect the way that they then go out into the world and conduct themselves. And that anytime somebody is giving you that opening to say, this is who I am, this is what's happening for me at a deep emotional level, that's beautiful. I think it's so beautiful when someone is willing to drop the veneer of having everything figured out and to kind of show you how their gears normally turn, and the fact that this experience has changed the way that's happening and is routing the, oil and whatever it is that runs through them in a different direction and lighting them up in a different way.
Yeah.
And I feel like I always want to be a person who says yes to that when somebody offers it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is trying to get to the, why do you think you dreamed that? Like, what was your brain trying to figure out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or what were you replaying? And I like being like, what do you think it was?
Yeah.
And then to be like, no, I actually think it is. Yeah. I see your psyche, and let me tell you what it is. But it truly is I do think it's whatever you think it's about. That's probably what it is.
Absolutely. And we don't, at least to my understanding, even at the highest levels of science, we don't really know what consciousness is.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, which means we also, by extension, don't really know what subconsciousness is.
Yeah.
And so we might as well get in there and explore and try to figure it out and think about it. One of the coolest experiences I ever had as a podcast producer is I worked as a producer on this New York Magazine show called Sex Lives. And in every episode of the show, they would pick some topic related to sexuality and they would explore it. So for one episode, they wanted to talk about why do people have kind of fucked up, uncomfortable sex dreams involving incest or inappropriate sexual connections. And so we had this guy come on and he said this thing that I cannot stop thinking about, which is he wrote this book called, I think it's called Big Dreams. And he said that what your subconscious is doing when you dream is it's trying to get your attention. And it knows that it can get your attention by creating a story that is illicit or you shouldn't be listening to or telling.
Whoa.
And so by making you have a dream about having sex with somebody that you shouldn't have sex with, what it's doing is not saying, that's what you want, you monster. What it's doing is saying, if you have a illicit sex dream about a parent, it's trying to get your attention to say there is something you need to talk to your dad about. And there's something about the dynamic that is being created in this narrative that your subconscious is trying to say pay attention. Don't worry about the details of what happened, but you and your dad aren't communicating or whatever the answer is. And I find it really interesting that the brain can do that and that it is an impish trickster.
Yeah, I'm going to shock you into figuring out something.
That's so cool, especially because you can apply that to so many different types of dreams. Even ones where you're being I don't know, chased by something and you're it's no, you're afraid of something. It's not
something's up.
Yeah, it's not necessarily this guy trying to get in your house.
Yeah.
But you're afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. And that also gets into, I think, a lot of fascinating ideas about, I think we are told all the time that what humans want in storytelling and entertainment is very basic, easy to clock stuff that doesn't require a lot of deep emotional investment, where humans in general want recognizable archetypes, similar tropes that we have seen before, because we don't have time for anything else. And I think I think obviously we are open to those things because we dream them we are open to really complex symbolism and psychology because we dream that way all the time. But also maybe the reason we're drawn to simple stories is because the ones that our brains are telling us all the time are so intense and complicated that it's actually a source of relief to look at or read or watch something.
Where you can just shut off and just be okay. Okay, they're fighting at a bar.
That's so funny because I just thinking about my parents, we'll try to discuss a show that's complicated, and my dad will always be like, "Did you see this CBS and whatever?" It's it's an easier version of sort of thematically similar, but kind of not as complex as like I don't know, thinking of like The Outsider or whatever. That it's like, you know, he's like the version is like a little easier to digest. And I'm like, yeah, because you've had like almost 70 years of like having to think about shit. Your brain's like, I don't want to do this.
I don't need to do this one bit.
Sitting on the fucking couch.
Yeah.
I was talking to my dad about Parasite, and my dad reads a ton. Like, I think of my dad as like a advanced comprehender of stories.
Yeah.
But he was saying, you know, there was just nobody for me to like in that movie. And I, you know, if you're going to ask for my money and my time, I want to like somebody that I'm watching on the screen. And I just always am really surprised by that response to things, because it's like, well, do you like, is art supposed to make you feel better about a world that, about the world, or is it supposed to reflect the world you actually exist in?
Yeah.
Because like, do you like everybody that you interact with on a day-to-day basis in life? Like,
but I bet at his age, he does.
That's interesting.
Oh.
Because he's like probably like whittled his life down to like people that he wants to be around.
Right. That's
and the
true.
people that probably cause him the most grief are his family that he loves the most. Right? Like that's just how it works at that age.
Yeah. I've definitely caused him some grief.
I mean,
Man,
no one yells at my parents like me.
Oh yeah, that's what you got to do when you're a kid.
No.
As soon as you go back for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Shut up! Leave me alone. You treated me like a teen.
Everything you think every day is wrong.
Why do I regress every time I come back here?
I absolutely do, and I feel bad.
I know.
I feel so bad.
Every now
but
and
then my parents do it too. They treat me like a teen sometimes.
Every now and then I'll like acknowledge that. I'm like, man, I treat you guys worse than anyone else I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I wish I could treat you like strangers.
I know.
I'm very nice to other people, I swear.
I'm so nice to other people.
Same with me, and like often to a fault. Like I'm like, I leave way too much space for absolute knuckleheads to get away with stuff. That if my parents say one thing in passing about, say, like, you know, like to express surprise that someone might have a career in podcasting. I'm like, how dare you undermine the very fabric of my creative existence? And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just don't really understand how it works. It's fine. Like ads, what?
It is so, like, I'll even get fired up when they're like, so what are you working on? And I'm like, you would not understand. I was like, wait, they're just asking. They're just curious about their child.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't know.
What am I doing?
What, are you going to talk about a horror film with me?
Yeah. My dad can get in. Yeah, he likes horror movies.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. Okay, we're back.
Ooh, good break.
Rough,
everybody. Rough.
So I didn't ask you earlier, Sam, but do you have any weird stories that could fall under the umbrella of paranormal?
The paranormal umbrella.
I have two, actually.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We can talk about like psychology and family dynamics anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime, yeah.
Well, okay, so this first one, I'm a little nervous talking about it because I have not actually ever had a conversation with anybody about it.
Whoa.
World premiere.
World premiere.
But this feels like the right place to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's this feels really weird to say. I believe that when I was about 9, I had an experience of flying. And when I have thought about this just kind of in private with myself, I have tried to figure out whether this was a dream. And the reason I don't think it was a dream is because I don't ever remember my dreams. I think I can actually name like 4 dreams in my life that I remember. And other than that, when I'm asleep, I'm just dead. Like I don't remember any other dreams. And also when I do those dreams that I do remember, I have no memory of physical sensation in the dream. I remember the narrative arc of what happened, but I don't have any physical experience of what it was. And in this experience of flying, which I think is real, my memory of it is intensely physical.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So this is what happened.
Yes.
I was walking through the neighborhood where I grew up in Northern Virginia, and I remember standing in the side yard of my friend's house, and because I wanted to go over and play Super Mario 3, and I had knocked on the door and there was nobody home, and I was feeling sad about that. So I was standing in the side yard, and I remember it was a fall day. I remember like the smell of fall, like that kind of crisp sort of burnt leaf feeling.
I love that smell so much.
It's the best. There need to be candles that smell like that. There probably are.
There are.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there are.
Okay.
If there's a candle that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina, there's gotta be one.
Is there one?
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a $75 candle.
Yep. Wow.
I want to know who like figured out what that smelled. What scientist?
I gotta get in there. And test it.
Anyway, let's not get distracted.
Speaking of R&D, how did so I'm standing there, and I remember the smell, and then I remember looking at the leaves kind of around my feet, and then I remember a wind chime playing on like a porch next door.
Yeah.
And in my memory, it like echoes, it like reverberates. And then I remember the leaves on the grass started like skittering, like as the wind picked up, and they started scooting towards me. And I remember having a realization, just lift up, just lift, go up on your toes. And I remember going up on my toes. And then I remember just like pick up your toes. And I remember picking up my toes, and I remember that I was floating. And then I remember thinking, okay, now just lie down in the air. And I remember lying down flat on my stomach in the air and putting my arms out. And then I remember thinking, just move your fingers a little bit and you can start to go. And I moved my fingers and I started like swimming. It's like 3 or 4 feet above the sidewalk. And I remember that as I went, I could sort of start to pick up a draft and like whoosh ahead for a little bit, and then I could kind of like brake and slow down a little, and hover in the air for a second, and then like whoosh. And it was only like 10 minutes or so, and I remember just going around the block and kind of stopping outside people's houses and looking through their windows and wondering if they could see me outside floating.
Whoa!
And nobody looked out, but I have these vivid memories of like my neighbor Paul and my family friends, the Crooks, like seeing them in their houses, like moving food around on tables or playing with dogs.
Whoa!
And then I came back to that same spot in the side yard, and I remember having a realization like, this is going to end now. The wind is stopping, so put your toes back down. And I put my toes back down, and then I remember thinking, put your heels down and lower your arms.
Whoa.
And then I remember thinking, that's never going to happen again.
Whoa!
And it has never happened again. But I really think it happened.
What do you think it I'm like trying to, do you think it like that you're, I don't know, I just keep thinking out of body, but like.
That's what I was thinking too.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think your physical body flew? Or do you have like any theories?
I have the best theory that I have been able to come up with is, I guess that it was an out of body experience, and that like I used to have these experiences at that age of suddenly feeling like I was alone and didn't have any friends. So, in thinking back on the experience, it is notable to me that what happened right before is that I wanted to go play with my friend and he wasn't there. And that all of a sudden I felt like I was just standing in this yard and didn't have anybody to connect with or talk to. And that what this experience was characterized by for me is a sense of, I'm literally flying outside your house and you're not looking out and noticing me. Whoa. Like, what do I have to do to get noticed or have friends or feel connection? So maybe something to do with it, but
wow.
That's the closest explanation I can come to, except that like I remember the feeling of the air passing under my body as I like moved down the street. I have a memory of the air like going over my arms and going through my hair.
That's so cool. I've never heard of anything like this.
No,
I love
yeah.
it. I think you flew.
Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you.
You know how to fly.
The other thing about it is I don't wish that I could still do it.
Okay.
You know, it's not like when I think about it, I'm like, oh man, I hope that happens again.
Yeah.
It's just this experience that I want to keep a halo around inside of me. And the other thing that I guess I think about is in the kind of work that I am very grateful to get to do, I feel like a lot of what I'm doing is coming into a family's very personal situation to ask them a bunch of questions about something that like what defines the stories that nobody has ever wanted to talk about it. And I'm now sitting there with microphones saying, will you please talk about this?
Yeah. Please, come on.
And will you please trust me to be the person who you give this story to and then shapes it and releases it for public enjoyment. And that's a very strange thing to do. But I think a reason maybe that I have been able to have success in convincing people to share those kinds of stories with me is that I have this very deep association with myself as an outsider. And I think, so I feel like my entire life has been characterized by trying to convince people, I guess, to invite me in.
Okay.
And so I think I have become good at saying, I am somebody who generally feels uncomfortable. And so in a weird way, I think that builds trust. Is this making sense?
No.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, like in relation to your experience, it makes so much more sense to me. The idea that you felt so outside that you were flying around and like looking into windows of places that you were not a part of the thing is like
right. And there's something familial about it too, I guess, that you know, it was in the suburbs. It was literally these like, you know, warmly lit, detached, bright homes. And it was the middle of the day and I was 9. Like I could have been at my house hanging out with my own family and having these experiences that I was looking in on. But for some reason it felt like, no, this is my way in life. It's to be outside and looking in on other people having this experience.
And also how wild for you to, the part of like, this will never happen again. Like knowing that something happened. Yeah. Where it is just like, okay, this will never happen again.
That part, I don't know what to... I mean, now I'm tempted to look back and view that as that was some larger universal force saying, I'm just going to show this to you for a second.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
I don't have any more time for you. I have to go, you know, levitate somebody else. Or,
yes,
you know.
I have to show this to somebody else. In South America.
Or even just the idea that for someone who's feeling like an outsider to be like, you're special too. Like, maybe like they don't see you outside the window, but there's something special about you.
Oh, I like that a lot. Well, I like that, Marcy.
Hey.
Do you guys feel like as artists, there are formative moments in your lives where you realized like it is part of my story will be reflecting the stories of others in some form rather than, well, I don't know what the alternative to that would be, but or rather than just being somebody who participates in life and then sees it reflected by other people, but to be a reflector.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, definitely, not exactly the same, but like I experience extreme anxiety right after shows, and I almost feel like sometimes, especially in a good show, that I'm like kind of being a different whole thing on stage, and so I feel like very vulnerable off of it because I'm not the same. Like I'm not I'm not as funny, or I'm not as like whatever it was on stage, and like almost don't want to discuss it or talk about it because it's barely me. Sort of feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Or like once I heard like Robin Williams talk about how someone talk about Robin Williams as like a channeler. And I feel like in my very best moments, that's what was happening. That it was like barely me.
I love that idea so much.
Whoa, that's cool.
It was like I was just like the vessel that it was happening through.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Even when I write, sometimes I like feel that way. That not until way later that I'm like, oh, that's what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
It's so.
I have moments like that of like, whoa, I just said that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man, and it worked. Okay, or I just said that and it didn't work. Okay.
I could only assume that it is, some like subconscious part of me that is absorbing all other things.
Well, it's why you do what you do.
Yeah.
And why we all do what we do. It's like, oh yeah, we were meant, like, the universe, we're meant to do what we're doing. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sense of like other voices, other experiences are coming through you.
Yeah.
I think is really powerful. I'm not a huge psychedelics person, but I have had, by which I mean I've had one psychedelic experience,
Yeah.
which I will now use to interpret the vast majority of psychedelic experiences. But the most powerful moment for me in this experience was I took mushrooms, and I remember shutting my eyes and seeing, imagine the most generic, like Grateful Dead cover, like psychedelic art of like, like tessellations, and it looks like tissue paper cutouts, like cascading and pulsing and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was very recognizable to me from every version, every like music video that's trying to suggest that I've ever seen.
Yep.
And so the cynical way to look at that is, well, you were doing psychedelics, so your mind on some level is like, you're supposed to see this stuff.
Oh, yes. Yep.
But the other thought that I couldn't get out of my head is that has become the universal signifier for a psychedelic experience.
Yeah.
Because we all see that.
Everybody's seeing it.
When we tap into this place.
Yeah.
So that means that something is coming through everybody when we let down when we remove certain veils or take down certain barriers. And that makes me think of like what you're saying about when you're performing sometimes, or when you're writing sometimes, these things come through you that you can't explain.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like that whole like, and we've talked about this of how for thousands of years people have seen ghosts.
Yes.
Where it is like, then that's gotta be a thing, like just like that of like we all see the same stuff when we're on shrooms, and then like, yes, of course people are seeing these things.
Yeah.
And we have been forever.
Yeah.
Like, they gotta exist.
They
do exist.
They gotta. And I remember hearing somebody say in passing, I wish I could remember who it was, but it was a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, whose name I am perhaps getting wrong, but I think it was him. Anyway, the idea is that a cloud doesn't disappear. It just becomes rain. And that if that is true of a cloud, and we as people are made of mostly the same things that a cloud is made of, then it absolutely makes sense that our presence does not go away.
Right.
It just turns into something else and lingers in some other form.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
When I heard that, like, I got a huge chill.
Yeah.
And it made me feel, just to what you're saying about, like, and to this idea of people's experiences of haunting, experiences of the supernatural have to be believed. It seems the idea of a lingering presence, it doesn't seem super far-fetched.
Yeah, not at all. Where it's like, where does that energy go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got to go somewhere.
Oh, I love that. God, I love that so much.
I do too. This episode's blowing my mind, man. It's really blowing my mind.
Well, it makes me think of like my grandfather was a jeweler, and
is this the one who had a
and
a jewelry thief? Yeah. Ooh, that's good. That's good.
And when I was at home this most recent time for the holidays, my mom was showing me some of his old jewelry. And I mean, I'm not the first person to have the experience of like when you put on an old piece of jewelry that was made by hand, in like the early 1900s. So there's somebody who infused the crafting of this piece with their own spirit and their own, the physical DNA from their hands.
Yeah.
And then my grandfather then wore this ring for a long time. And when I put it on, it's like something comes over you.
Whoa.
And some of that's imagined, but some of it isn't imagined.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's why one of the many reasons that we as people, we love antiques, we love old things, we love a sense of many lives have passed through this object, whether it's a dresser or a mirror or
spooky. Both of those too spooky. I'm never getting an antique dresser or mirror. Out of my house.
I don't have any mirrors in my room because of it.
I don't have any mirrors.
Terrified.
Really?
Too scared. Scared to see something in that mirror.
Yeah. I mean, I have them like bathroom and stuff, but I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to see something. I've told the story many times about when I used to be in this room seeing someone in that mirror behind me.
Oh my God.
And so I'm like, it's covered now. It's terrifying. So you said you had another story?
Yes.
Okay.
So the other one is much more recent.
Ooh. Cool.
This is like a year and a half ago.
Nice.
But I got struck by lightning.
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And
what?
It's so crazy in modern day when that happens.
Yeah.
And
it seems like so old timey.
Like you're like mining pickaxe. Then I get it. But
Right.
Whoa, what happened?
So talk about, a feeling of the universe kind of like selecting you for a moment to be like, hello, I have a message. So the circumstances of it are quite absurd, which are that I was at a family reunion, because I only like to do things with family in the title. This was with my girlfriend at the time, and I had been planning to propose to her. Like I wanted this to be my family also, and they didn't know that at the time, but I did.
It was her family reunion.
It was her family reunion.
Oh,
yes.
Great. Okay.
And I hadn't met a lot of the people on this side of her family, even though we'd been together for a long time. So there was like kind of a lot riding on this.
Yeah.
And I'm like a very inside person, like radio and podcasting, like soundproof, deny the existence of the outside world. They're outside people. So they love like hiking and camping and swimming and all these things. And so I kind of knew like, you're going to have to step it up and go outside with these people. So one of the big events was for the reunion was they were going to do this hike. So we go up to the top of this mountain. And I was like doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And we made it to the top of the mountain. But then all of a sudden these clouds roll in and it starts to pour, like the hardest rain that I have ever been in. Like where it kind of hurts, like the raindrops hurt.
Yeah.
And there's wind.
How scary.
Yeah. And I was dressed like this. Like I was wearing like a button down and slacks. And
hiking clothes.
Yeah. Perfect hiking clothes.
I had a sport coat on. Like I wanted to make a good impression.
That is so funny.
You had nice dress shoes, very slippery.
Very slippery, lots of blisters.
Your metal hat.
Family reunion stuff.
Yeah.
And they're outside people, so they had like ponchos. They just like didn't even blink when this happened. So one of her cousins very kindly and generously was like, well, I have an umbrella here. So he hands me an umbrella and I'm like, great, there's only one way for me to look more ridiculous.
That was a prank.
Yeah, pranked hard, man.
Yeah, the prank ended up coming back to strike everybody. Because I put up the umbrella and we start walking down the mountain.
No.
And we've only been walking for a second, and all of a sudden it feels like the hand of God reaches out of the sky, picks up the umbrella by the top, and then spikes me like a football on the ground.
Oh my God.
The bottom of my feet, like it feels like I've stepped on a landmine. I've never actually stepped on a landmine, but this is what I imagine it feels like. I hear this sound like blam. And I see white light in the periphery of my vision. And this is the craziest part of it. Everything went into black and white for a second.
Oh, fuck.
And then I hear someone else from her family behind me. I will never forget this phrase. She goes, "Drop the fucking umbrella." So I throw the umbrella on the ground. There's smoke coming off the top of it. And
oh my God.
I'm like, I just got struck by lightning. And not only did I just got struck by lightning, I literally called down the lightning from the sky because I held a lightning rod up in the air.
All the ions and stuff were up there just doing their thing. Then they're like, ooh,
we got one.
We want to go right there. That's where we want to go.
Normally not metal up on the mountain.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God.
I should say, thankfully, the other thing that was really scary about this is because there was we were walking on stone and there was water running over it. So the charge went into the water. And as soon as I got hit, then a second later, I heard everyone I was hiking with go "Wah!" Because the water or the charge went into the water and then hit them in the bottom of their feet. Everybody was fine.
Oh my God.
So nobody was gravely harmed.
Yeah.
I want to make that very clear. But it's one of those experiences where it's I looked it up afterwards and the chances of it happening are 1 in 15,300, I think. So
honestly, way better than I expected.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Because 15,300, that's just this neighborhood,
Oh.
Yeah. It's going to happen to someone who lives around here in their life. But it's also pretty close to random,
Yeah.
But you want it to mean something, particularly because as an inside person, when you tell people I don't really like going outside, they're like, "What are you afraid of? You think I'm going to get struck by lightning?"
Yes. Yes, I will.
It gave you a lifetime of an excuse of why you never needed to do that again.
Right. No, I don't like going outside, and this is why.
Whoa.
But you want it to have some kind of significance. But it was one of the most physically painful things I've ever
I was
experienced.
going to ask, what was your body like?
It was ringing for the rest of the day. It felt like my bones were vibrating.
Oh, God.
And I had these weird sores for days afterwards. Long term that I know of, there have not been any ill effects.
Yeah.
But so in addition to doing the podcast, I also do storytelling with the Moth and Risk and places like that.
Right, yeah.
And I was doing a show once and I told a story about getting struck by lightning. And afterwards, this is the part that I think is supernatural. This woman in the audience came up to me and she grabbed my arm and she goes, "Are you a Buddhist?" And I was like, "No." What's about to happen? And she said, I want you to listen really carefully to me.
Oh my God.
She goes,
intense.
and she's looking right in my eyes. Oof. And talk about channeling, it was something, she was really looking at me.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine that sometimes the Moth can attract a very intense type of person.
Oh, that is an accurate imagination.
Yeah.
Not the same kind of people coming to improv shows.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Different intensity at least.
Yes.
Just in the vein of what we're talking about of I had this seemingly passing experience that meant something.
Yes.
That's kind of the breath and bread of
Yes.
Moth audiences.
Yeah.
But so she looks right in my eyes and she goes, "What happened to you is a blessing. It's called a darshan."
Oh.
And it means you are a holder of light.
Whoa.
You must never forget that. Goodbye. And then she walks away.
Whoa, and then poof, gone.
Yeah. Not even sure she was really there.
Yeah. You see that lady? No. You're talking to a clock.
Sam,
That's cool.
Yeah. And I find that idea very moving. The idea of being a holder of light. And it makes me think about, I don't want to self-aggrandize about what we do on the show, but the reason it's important to me to do that work is because I think it is really important to honor these hauntings and stuff that people have.
Yep.
And to hold them in the light and try to see what they're really about, even if it's scary or dark. I want to say, though our show, as you can imagine, gets pretty heavy sometimes.
Yeah.
We do have lighter episodes, but a lot of the times the show's about pretty heavy stuff. And I just think I think the world is better when we grab onto that stuff, even if it zaps you.
Yeah.
To be crude in my metaphor making. But, and I feel like if what she was telling me in that moment is like, this is a charge to keep. It's like you're going to get struck by this thing and it's going to make your bones vibrate, but you can survive it.
Yeah.
And that means that you have a job to do here.
Oh, I got chills. Yeah.
Which the way that I said that, I don't mean that in a self-aggrandizing way. I mean it in a way that's like, I don't. It's not like I think I'm the only one who can survive the lightning.
You're gonna start a cult, man. Start a cult.
So, are you guys in?
I'm following, man. I'm following.
We're called the Keepers of Light.
Great.
To be honest, I'm a little flaky, but I'll join.
I might help you.
That's okay. We're gonna engage in a lot of sleep deprivation and weird drug cocktails. So
Oh, nice. I love a drug cocktail.
NyQuil.
Good.
Which, incidentally, is what the Love family that we were talking about before that was their MO. Like many cults.
Yeah. They have like a little handbook. The cults are like, we're going to have some sex. And we're going to wear very casual clothing.
It's gonna
either athleisure or something flowier and more linen. Like.
You're going to exist exclusively on carrots. But yeah, so I don't know. I think that for me, that the experience of having her say that to me was like, whether or not this experience of getting struck by lightning was random, it was me that got struck. And the other people that I was with, you know. But I am hung up on the fact that I'm the one who was holding up the lightning rod. You know, I'm the one who
just
brought this upon us.
Like every step leading the way to it, of being like, I'm not an outdoor person.
Right.
I'll go for this family because I want to be like, hey, I'm down. Let's do this. And then like not being prepared. Like all of it is leading up to like, you.
You didn't by any chance have the ring that you were going to propose with on you, right?
That would have been amazing.
That would have been
like, I have this like ring-shaped hole on my thigh for no reason.
Weird.
It's weird. I don't
That's
know.
awkward.
Must have been a nickel.
Although an interesting thing is that we were hiking with some of my ex's cousins, and they were, I think one was like 7 and one was 11, and this didn't happen to anybody else but the kids that we were with. They got these, there's a name for these and I'm forgetting them, but they got this temporary scarring on their arms in the shape of a lightning bolt.
Harry
Potter style.
Yes. And like other people who we were hiking with also had exposed skin. Like it was only the kids that this happened to.
And temporary. Like it goes
went away. It faded. Yeah.
Little Potter babies.
Little Potter babies. They're no longer muggles. Is that what it is? A muggle? We're muggles.
Yeah, we're muggles.
Damn it.
But what's that about? You know?
That is so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Wow, you got struck by lightning.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would tell that to everybody all the time. Hey, I
At
got
the
struck by lightning.
DMV, getting a coffee.
Right.
I had a soccer coach in 6th grade who got struck by lightning multiple times.
You know, I have heard that if it happens once, the chances of it happening again go up.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't
Stay
know if that's just
inside,
anecdotal.
man. Stay
No,
inside.
that's the plan. But what happened to your soccer coach?
I can't remember. He was very old, and I just remember him whenever clouds would like start to form around the field. He's like, "Everybody inside!" And we're like, "What the fuck?" And then he revealed that he had been struck multiple times. Oh my god!
He's like, I do have a metal plate in my head.
It might be that. I would believe him. Like,
Right.
okay, man.
Oh boy. Do you have time to listen to a story?
I would love to.
All right, let me pull one up.
Okay.
Hi, this is Amanda in Tennessee. I am about a 50% non-believer and 50% terrified as far as paranormal things go. I have a pretty rational brain, but I don't like to disqualify things just because I have not experienced them. This is the story of my one and thankfully only paranormal experience. About 15 years ago, my now husband, Josh, and I decided to go to Chattanooga for the anniversary of 3 years of dating. I picked a bed and breakfast down by Rock City, and we planned to go down for the weekend and just have some fun. It's the beginning of October. The air is chilly and cozy outside. The leaves on the trees are just starting to turn, and it gets dark early, usually around 6:30 p.m. So it's the perfect setup for a spooky encounter. Chattanooga is a quick 2.5 hour drive from where we're at, so we expect to get there around dinner time. But he has to work late that night, so we don't get on the road till probably around 7:30. We finally get to the bed and breakfast, and it's around 9:30, 10 p.m., and the innkeeper, of course, was not very happy with us. But we had let them know that we would be late, and they said it was okay, so we came on down. We get there, and it's late, dark, and we really can't see anything. It's not your typical bed and breakfast where you're all in one big house, though. Instead, they had several little duplexes grouped around. So we're in one side, and there's another young couple on the other side of us. We never saw them, but we did hear them enjoying each other's company the next morning. So it's late when we get to our room, and we're tired, and we really just want to lay down. We don't even unpack. The room is really small, and there's a beautiful wooden wardrobe directly beside the bed, maybe 3 to 4 feet away from the side my husband lays down on. He can go to sleep anywhere, anytime, without issue. So he lays down and is immediately asleep, leaving me in this room basically alone because he's already snoring on the bed. I eventually laid down, and I'm looking around the room only to realize that there is a ceramic cherub head hanging from the ceiling. Now, angel statues are creepy anyway, but for it to be just the head was really disturbing, and I pretty much just stare at it all night long. Also, there's a window on my side of the room that looks out into the woods. So yeah, creepy. I'm laying there probably for about an hour, maybe in an hour and a half. It's really hard for me to sleep in places that I'm not familiar with. So it's somewhere around midnight, I'm guessing. I didn't look at a clock, but since we got there around 10:30, it had to be near midnight by this point. I was desperately trying to fall asleep when all of a sudden all these loud bangs and creaks and thuds start coming from inside the wardrobe. It sounded like it was going to explode open at any moment, and I'm basically jumping out of my skin with every single sound. Meanwhile, Josh is just laying there asleep like nothing's happening. It happened probably 4 or 5 times. Now, I don't know if it was all in a row or if I somehow managed to fall asleep and then it started happening again and woke me up. But I do know for sure that I was absolutely awake the first 2 times that it happened. At some point in the night, I do eventually fall asleep. We wake up in the morning and everything's fine. My husband swears he didn't hear a thing. We hear the people next door and we go to breakfast. I should say that the noise definitely was coming from the wardrobe and was not the people beside us. We didn't even know they were there until the morning. So we come back from breakfast, and it's our first chance to really look around the room. I found the guest book, and inside there are 4 or 5 entries about the room being haunted, specifically the wardrobe. So at this point, I'm really freaked out because, like I said, we hadn't read the book the night before. We hadn't seen anything online. So we were not going into this expecting anything to happen. I wish I could remember what I wrote in the guest book, but I know it was something about the wardrobe, and I was really glad we didn't stay another night.
Oh my God.
Wardrobes are bad.
Did you just write shit?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Every time I hear a story about a wardrobe, I'm like, that's Narnia.
Yep.
Narnia.
It's not Narnia.
It was
it's
haunted. It was a
trying
fawn
to
Conjuring
haunted.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, yeah, anything weird, but God, that's so scary. Oops, this just fell off. I don't know what's
Marcy's
happening.
mic just
might just
broke
really
off.
just fell off the table.
Wardrobes are bad news, man.
Bad news.
So scary.
Yeah.
Awful.
Just like hearing banging noises.
Awful.
Especially It's really interesting that she pointed out what sounds like the absolutely terrifying suspended cherub head from the ceiling.
How dare you, bed and breakfast?
You know what it made me think is that maybe they knew it was haunted and they're like, this will protect it so it can't get out the wardrobe.
I mean, people must complain.
Yeah.
Especially if people are writing in the guest book. They must be like, hey, man, that wardrobe is awful.
And it's also very suspicious that when they got there, she said, like, the innkeeper was displeased.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of wonder if the innkeeper was like, oh, you guys want a room?
Yeah. She's like,
I have a room for you.
Sure.
Then
You making me stay up?
My son's been in the wardrobe waiting to scare you for hours. He's starving.
You'll be
hungry.
in the cherub suite.
God, that was so. We chuckled a little bit about hearing the couple next door enjoying themselves.
Yeah, good for them.
That is the most polite way to say that
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
I love that that's the phrase she chose.
Yes.
Because it's all that really honors their relationship.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
it was enjoyable.
Very
for them.
respectful.
I wonder if they had a haunted wardrobe.
Oh, man. Maybe there was no one next door.
Whoa.
Oh, there was no room next door.
Yeah. There's never been a room next door.
Honestly, this is not a bed and breakfast. You're in my garage.
Oh, that's so spooky.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I don't know that I've ever had anything happen like that.
I have not. I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I can't think of anything on that level. I did think it was really interesting the way her name was Amanda, right?
Yes.
The
I
way
believe
that
so.
she described her spectrum from believer to terrified.
Yes.
I'm very interested in that characterization of the spectrum of belief.
Right. As if they can't be true at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Because I think they kind of go hand in hand for most people.
But I really like that her story celebrates kind of both ends of that spectrum.
Yep.
Like wanting to be more skeptical, but also not wanting to deny her own experience of having gone through this thing.
Yeah. That's gigantic.
Yeah.
Whoa, Amanda.
That was
Chattanooga.
Yeah.
choo choo.
Steer clear of the drobes.
Oh, man, that's scary.
That was really great.
Any wardrobes, get them out.
Get them out. Get a closet.
Get a goddamn closet, please.
Get a closet. Well,
Get
'cause,
a closet.
A wardrobe. Okay, this is my thought about wardrobes. A closet, it's built into the architecture of the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it is of the same house. But a wardrobe, you're introducing something that is closet sized, but it's not of the house.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
different wood. And you're just kind of inviting it to be some kind of bizarre portal that is from a different world.
Exactly. Always owned by witches. Mm-hmm. They kept their nasty robes in there.
All of their like herbs and
Hats and brooms.
eyes of weird animals and kinds of witch bullshit.
No, witches are cool, man.
I would say, like, well, speaking of witches, like, the first witches, they're like, their family must have been like, why are you collecting all this nasty shit?
Yeah.
Put it in your
They're
wardrobe.
like, wait till you have a cough.
They're like, I don't
Then
want to
you'll see.
Yeah, wait until you have a
You'll
cough.
be better.
That's true.
Because of this nasty shit.
Yeah, wait until I put some. Well, I guess scientists do the same thing. Like, what is it? The flavor of vanilla is something's anus. Is it a beaver's anal gland?
What? Really?
Oh, beavers' buttholes smell like vanilla?
Well, they taste.
They taste like vanilla?
I could be having the flavor or animal incorrect, or actually making up the entire
whole thing.
Do not at me, because I'm a liar.
I like this though because I feel like I deal with a certain amount of shame in life that I prefer the taste of vanilla to the taste of other sweet things.
Yeah.
And vanilla has this association with it, like you like to color within the lines, right?
Yes.
But vanilla is weird.
Yeah.
If your story
vanilla
is correct.
is weird.
Also, even like if it is just like inside of a bean that you scrape out, like that's weird that you figured that.
It's so crazy how humans have figured that out.
Like being from Louisiana, we eat crawfish so much, and it's like who ate who?
How did you figure out how to do it?
Yeah, why would you, freaks?
were freaks. Or like even just like a pomegranate. I still to this day, I'm like, I don't think we should eat them.
Who figured out about any root vegetables?
I don't know.
Oh, God. That feels like it came from a place of such desperation.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Like we need to put something inside of us that will stop this rot that is spreading because we've just been eating, I don't know, salted meats or whatever for too long.
Yeah. Oof.
Our teeth are falling out. I don't know.
Well, thank goodness we figured it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing left to learn.
Nothing left. We're done. We did it.
Sam, this has been so fun talking to you.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm a huge fan of the show, as I was telling you on the way in, and that's real. I promise I'm not just like saying that. Like I really love the show.
We'll quiz you after we stop recording.
Yeah, I wouldn't know if anything's correct. I have the worst memory.
I do too. We talked about that.
I filled it up with improv, so there's no room for anything else. Tell everyone where to find you or find your work.
Yes, the show is called Family Ghosts, and you can find it on any podcast app that you use. It's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify, it's on Overcast, it's on Castbox.
Keep going.
That last one sounds like I just made up the name of a podcast.
It totally
app,
does.
but that is actually a real podcast.
Yeah. Only people with Samsungs know about it.
But anywhere you can listen to podcasts. There is another show called Family Secrets. That is not our show.
Okay.
It is also a good show, but my show is called Family Ghosts.
Yes.
Ghosts.
I thought you were like plugging that other show.
No. I mean,
it's great. But
It's a great show. Danny Shapiro is the woman who hosts it. She's amazing, but their show's a little different than ours.
Got it.
I think sometimes people get confused.
Yeah.
So
I
Family
will
Ghosts is
link it in the show notes.
Yeah. We'll get a link in.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy. And don't shit your pants.
That was a HeadGum podcast.